What's cracking, y'all? You are now watching Boo TV. Appreciate you for stopping in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified, and let's get into the topic for today.
So about a week ago, Shaquille O'Neal went off again on social media. I don't remember what app, Instagram or X, formerly Twitter, whatever, lashing out at Dwight Howard again. And if you've been following Shaq and his tomfoolery and his pettiness, he has been going at Dwight Howard, JaVale McGee, and Rudy Gobert for years now, clowning them, basically taking jabs and making comments about them, about where they are on the hierarchy of great big men in the history of the NBA and how they don't compare to him. And we know about Shaq and him being pissed off about the Superman thing and all the other stuff, the money these guys are getting and sucking as big men, etc., all them being soft, etc., all that, right? We know Shaq has been doing this for years and he can't stop because it bothers him. Shaq is super sensitive. He's a sensitive guy. And he's petty. So at first, I thought it was funny because I don't like Dwight Howard. I don't like Rudy Gobert. I don't like JaVale McGee. I don't like most of these big men in the NBA. And Shaq is one of my favorite big men of all time. So in the beginning, I thought it was funny. I was like, yeah, Shaq, get these fools. But it's to the point now, it's like, dude, all right, can we be done with this already? Why are you still beating this drum, dude? Why? You have nothing to prove to these guys. We all know who you are. We all know who they are. They're not on your level, Shaq. So even for me, somebody that thought it was funny initially, I'm just like, this is getting old. Time to grow up, Shaq. Time to grow up. But a lot of people didn't know that Shaq was this sensitive about so many different things. Now we're able to see it because of the age of social media, so Shaq can very conveniently and instantly put messages out and comments out for the entire world to see about how he's feeling or when he needs to take jabs at people. That type of outlet, that type of medium, that type of conduit wasn't around when he was playing, especially during his prime, with the Los Angeles Lakers, even before that, the Orlando Magic. So we didn't have that instant access to Shaquille O'Neal's thoughts and expressions that he wanted to share with us instantly. Now, Shaq has taken jabs and had beef with other players in the past, even players before Shaq played, like Bill Walton, for example. Difference is, like I said, social media wasn't around. So in order for you to get a glimpse of what Shaq was talking about, you had to conveniently, get the newspaper, probably read about it for that particular situation that they were covered. And it probably wasn't even like front page, on the sports page either. It's probably one of the other smaller columns. Obviously, the Kobe Shaq beef was going to be front page, but that's, another level for obvious reasons, right? But I say all that to say this. People didn't realize how sensitive Shaq was until the age of social media, and he got on it and started lashing out, and he has continued to. Now, I want you to think about, let's go back in time to the Kobe and Shaq era, and when they had their moments where they were beefing with each other, people didn't realize how sensitive Shaq was. Typically, all the venom went towards Kobe. Oh, he's not Shaq. Shaq's the big man. Shaq's more dominant. Kobe's a prima donna. Kobe's selfish. Kobe just wants a team for himself. Kobe's a ball hog. Most of the venom went towards Kobe. A lot of it didn't go to Shaq. And even teammates on the Lakers, now there were different spats, but typically teammates were divided between Kobe and Shaq. And then sometimes more of them leaned more towards Shaq, and Kobe felt isolated. Even Phil Jackson catered to Shaquille O'Neal more than he did Kobe Bryant. Phil was always harder on Kobe. Why do you think that is? Because Phil Jackson knew how sensitive Shaquille O'Neal was. He knew he could be more stern and blunt with Kobe Bryant based on his personality. He knew he could lose Shaq if he met Shaq with that same type of coaching and mentoring. Phil had to approach Kobe like a young, somewhat naive, ignorant, hard-headed young adult and had to approach Shaq like a child, like a man-child, like a crying toddler at times. He had to be very delicate with Shaquille O'Neal. There was a time where Shaq went out with an injury. And if you remember, Kobe Bryant laced up 9 straight 40-point games. At least 40 points. And the Lakers were winning. Kobe was leading the charge, no Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq came back. Kobe was still cooking. Still going for 40 points. And then Phil Jackson took Kobe Bryant aside. He said, hey, you're hot right now. You're playing amazing. We're winning. But I need you to dial it back on the scoring. Kobe's like, what the hell? Why? I'm in a great space right now. We're winning. He's like, we're going to lose the big fella. We're going to lose Shaq. He's going to get lost in all your high output scoring. Even though we're winning games, he's going to get lost. And we need him to be engaged and in the game because it's important for us to win. We need to make sure Shaq gets his touches and he needs to be the focal point or we're going to lose him. And Kobe Bryant did just that. People would always talk about Kobe's ego, but Shaq had a huge ego too. And he needed his ego stroked. See, Kobe didn't need his ego stroked. Kobe didn't give a damn what you thought about him. Kobe didn't have this outgoing personality, people person, oh, look at me, this is that. That wasn't Kobe. That was Shaq. Shaq needed his ego stroked. He did. He was far more sensitive. There were certain things he was always looking for from other people. And his relevance on the team, especially on the offensive end. That doesn't get talked about. It doesn't. But now that everybody can now see how Shaq has been over these last handful of years with his sensitivity, this isn't something new. He's always been like that. We're just getting it all live and direct now. But this has been going on way back in those Kobe Shaq days. And you better believe that same level of sensitivity Kobe Bryant, Phil Jackson, and other people had to deal with. A lot of people aren't going to go out and talk about it publicly. All the stuff that was going on in the locker room. And a lot of people won't speak out against Shaquille O'Neal publicly. Kobe was always looked at as the selfish guy. And, you know, the one-on-one. Compare me to you. Compare you to him. Look at me. This is what I did. But it was really Shaq. Look how he's constantly comparing himself to these far inferior big men. But he has this complex. And he has to do it because he feels sensitive about some small, stupid little things that he can't get over. Their resume doesn't even compare to him. These guys shouldn't even be on Shaq's radar. But he's still going on and on and on about it. It's about him. Why does he feel the need to remind us all the time that he's better than them? See, all this stuff got swept under the rug back in the day. Kobe wasn't always the bad guy in all those situations. But the media definitely portrayed Shaq one certain kind of way and Kobe a certain type of way. And I'm not giving Kobe Bryant a pardon in the Shaq and Kobe feud, the Shaq and Kobe beef. I'm definitely not doing that. I'm just saying, I don't think the popular story or belief as Shaq being the protagonist in many of those situations and Kobe being the antagonist in most of those situations is all true. I think there's a lot more there to dig into and to think about. And we could start with Shaquille O'Neal's personality and his sensitivity. He's a man-child. I know a guy out here where I live. He's a man-child. I cannot talk. I cannot have an adult interaction or conversation with this young man because he's so damn childish. So damn childish. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy. And I tried. I was like, you know what? I ain't got time for this in my life. I can't deal with you. I'm all for fun and games and jokes and good times, but there are levels to the childlike behavior. And when there's moments where you need to grow the hell up and be a man and carry yourself appropriately and you can't do that, that's all I got to say about it, folks. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, stay notified. Catch you on the next one. We out, baby.